students. Now in previous video we have been seeing some properties of divisibility. First of all, definition of divisibility, then it's some basic properties. Later on we have seen the division algorithm and the definition of common divisor, greatest common divisor. Also we have seen the two examples of them. Now in one of the example, the greatest common divisor is 1. So such a numbers whose greatest common divisor is 1 or such a integers whose greatest common divisor is 1 are known as relatively prime. So let me write that definition of relatively prime. Relatively prime. So an integer a and b, and integers a and b are said to be relatively prime. They are what? Relatively prime. As I say, they are relatively prime if GCD of a and b is what? 1. This is what a meaning, or this is a notation for GCD. Now let me write example here. Suppose the first example, 2 and 3 are the prime numbers and the common divisor of them is 1. So their GCD is also greatest common divisor. Only one common divisor is there. So greatest is also the same one, are relatively prime. So from this result we can say, or from this example we can say 2 and 3. So any two primes we will take, then they are always relatively prime. Now let me take next example, 5 and 14. 5 and 14. So now 5 is a prime number, 2 is not, 14 is not. So 14 has various divisors, 1, 2, 7, 14. But common of them is what? 1. So they are also what? Relatively prime. Relatively prime. They are also relatively prime. Then if I take the next example, 5 and 10. 5 and 10. Now 5 has the divisors 1 and 5 as it is a prime, but the 10 has the divisors 1, 2, 5, 10. So the common of them are 1 and 5. So greatest of them is what? 5. So the GCD of 5 and 10 is what? 5. So they are not relatively prime. It is not 1. Are not relatively prime. Are not relatively prime. As the GCD of 5 and 10 is what? 5, as we discussed. Now let me write the general definition of greatest common divisor. If now we have been written a definition for two integers. Now if there are means 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 5 numbers, then how can we write the definition? That general definition of greatest common divisor, let me write. We will say it as a definition. Let A1, A2, A3 and so on up to AN be non-zero integers, then an integer G is called, greatest common divisor. Greatest common divisor of A1, A2 and so on up to AN. If this is a greatest common divisor of these n numbers, if the first condition is that G should divide each AI for all I from 1, 2, 3 so on up to what? N. And second thing, if C divides AI means what? C will become a common divisor of all A1, A2 and so on up to AN. G must be common divisor. This is the first condition. So C will be any common divisor for all I. Then C must divides what? G. C should divides G. Then and then it will be a greatest common divisor. Otherwise it is not. So how do we denote it? We denote it as what? G is equal to what? The GCD of A1, A2, A3 and so on up to what? AN as such. Now let me write a note from these, that how can we find out the GCD of these n numbers? This is a question in your mind. Now first of all we will find the GCD of two numbers. That GCD we will take with the third. Again the GCD we are pairing as such them. The GCD of these two we will pair with this. Again that GCD will pair with the next number. As such we will find out the GCD of more than two numbers. Let me write a remark that the GCD of A, B and C, suppose three numbers are there, is same as to say the GCD of AB with C is same as to say GCD of A with BC. We can pair them in any order. Also it is same as the GCD of what? AC with B. This one will be same answer. Remember this. Now let us take a small example for this one. Now suppose we have to find the GCD of 15, 30 and 45. Example. Find GCD of greatest common divisor of 15, 30 and 45. Suppose we have to find out this. So what is the answer here? The answer is what we have to find. We have to find what? This GCD of 15, 30, 45. Fine. This is same as to say the GCD of 15, 30 with 45. So let us find out the GCD of 15 and 30 first. Later on take that one with 45. So now how can we find the GCD of 15 and 30? For GCD of 15 and 30, we know divisors of 15 are what? The divisors of 15 are what? 1, 2 is not a divisor of 15, 3, then 5 and 15 are the divisors of 15. Again, what are the divisors of 30? What are they? Are what? 1, 2 is also divisor of 30, 3, 5, 6, 7 is not, 8 is not, 9 is not, 10 is the divisor, 11, 12 is not, 13 is not, 14 is not, but the 15 is the divisor of 30 and the next one will be 30 itself. Now what are the common of them? Common is 1, then 3, then 5 and then 15. So these four are what? Common. So common divisors are what? Common divisors of 15 and 30 are what they are? 1, 3, 5 and 15. So which is the greatest? This 15 is the greatest. Therefore what can I say? GCD of 15 and 30 is what? 15. Fine. Now let us take that 15 here with 45. Now find out this 15, 30. This GCD with 45 is same as to say the GCD of 15 and 45. Now we have already the divisors of 15. Now the Divisors of 45 we have to determine so that we can conclude that part. So their divisors of 45 are, what are they? Are 1, 3 is the divisor of 45, 2 is not 5, even it is not even number, then 5, then 9, then 15 and 45 itself. So again, what are the common divisors of 15 and 45? Again 1, 3, 5 and 15. Look at it carefully. So common divisors of 15 and 45 are what? 1, 3, 5 and 15. Fine. So greatest is what again? 15. Therefore, what can we say? 15 comma 45 is what? 15. The GCD of 15 comma 45 is 15. That is, the GCD of 15 comma 30 comma 45 is what? 15. This is our answer here. This is our answer. Fine. As such, we can determine the GCD of more than 2 numbers. Now, this GCD can be expressed as a linear combination of those numbers and the other 2 integers. So, let us take a theorem for that. The theorem, the representation of GCD as a linear combination of the numbers and the integers. Theorem, let A and B be any integers at least one is, let A and B be any 2 integers, at least one is non-zero. At least one is non-zero. Then there exists a greatest common divisor. Greatest common divisor G of A and B such that G is the GCD of A and B, and it can be written as AX0 plus BY0. This is the linear combination. For some X0, Y0 belongs to what? Set of integer. These are what? Integers. The same thing I am saying, that GCD can be written as a linear combination of those numbers and some integers. Now let us prove this theorem. Now to prove this, again I am using the same way which we have been used in a division algorithm. I am considering one set. I will show it is non-empty, and by well ordering principle I will show it has the least positive element. Fine. And that least positive element we are taking as a G itself. So G can be written in this form. Now later on our aim to show that G is the GCD of A and B. So G must be common divisor of A and B, and if there exists any other common divisor, then that common divisor must be a divisor of G. This thing we have to show here. So let A and B be any integers such that, or be any integers with the same, at least one is what? Non-zero. At least one is non-zero. Fine. Now consider the set. Now suppose the set S is a set as such, AX plus BY such that xy belongs to what? Z. Fine. Now clearly this S consists some positive integer, negative integer, also the 0 is there. Clearly S contains or S contains positive, negative integers, positive, negative integers along with what? 0. Along with 0. Therefore, we can say from this we can say S is non-empty. S is non-empty subset of integers. S is non-empty subset of integers. Fine. Therefore, by well ordering principle or by well order principle, what can we say? S has least positive element. S has a least positive element. Now let me say it as G. Now the least positive element is nothing but suppose G. So if that element is G, so this implies G belongs to S and G is what? Greater equal 1. As it is a GCD, it is always a positive number. So it will be either 1 or greater than 1. So that is same as G belongs to S. So G is of the form, G is of this form. Therefore, G is equal to A x0 plus B y0 for some x0 y0 belongs to what? Z. Belongs to Z. Now we have to prove. This part we have been proved. G can be written as such. But our aim to show this G is nothing but the GCD of A and B. Now we have to show G is what? The GCD of A and B. That is to show G divides A and G divides B first. That is, first we have to show that this is the common divisor of A as well as B. Fine. Now, suppose on a contrary, I will assume G doesn't divide A. Suppose G doesn't divide A. Okay, we will get some contradiction. Therefore, by division algorithm, there exists Q and R belongs to Z such that what? A is equal to, if this doesn't divide, not a complete divisor, then there must exist a remainder and some quotient is there. G into Q plus R, where 0 less than R less than what? G. G is our divisor here. Fine. This thing holds because of division algorithm. So what does this say? Therefore R is equal to A minus GQ. R is equal to A minus GQ. But we have the value of G. What is G? A x0 plus B y0. So let me substitute that. So A minus, this will be A x0 plus B y0 into Q. So this is A minus A x0 Q minus B y0 Q. Now let us take A common from this. So A will be common. It will be 1 minus x0 Q plus, let me write plus Here I can write minus y naught q. Fine. So now here if you look it carefully, this is again an element as in set S. So here this a into some integer, as we know x naught is integer, q is integer, 1 is integer, so this whole one will be an integer. Again this minus y naught q is also an integer. So these are what? Integers. A and b are our numbers. So let me name it as a x1 plus b y1. Where x1 is equal to what? 1 minus x naught q, and y1 is equal to what? Minus y naught q, and both what? Both are what? Integers. Both are, this also belongs to z and this also belongs to what? Z, I can say. Fine. They are integers. So this one I can say this r, therefore r is equal to a x1 plus b y1 with this condition. Again this one holds there, where 0 less than r less than what? G. So this says r belongs to S and 0 less than r less than G. But we have assumed that S has a least positive element, that is what? G. Here we got S consists other one more element which is less than what? G. Which is less than this G. So which is a contradiction. Which is a contradiction to G is a least positive, G is a least positive element of what? S. Therefore, why does this contradiction occur? Because of this assumption. G doesn't divide A. So this implies G must divide whom? A. Similarly, if I assume G doesn't divide B, then by same way I can got another number which is less than that. So similarly I can prove G divides what? B. So here we got G divides A as well as G divides B. So G will become a common divisor of A and B. Now suppose there exists some another common integer. Let C divides A and C also divides what? B. So we have to show, our aim to show that C divides G. C divides what? G. So since C divides A, so this implies there exists some integer k1 belongs to Z such that A is equal to ck1. Fine. And C also divides B. So this says there exists some integer k2 belongs to Z such that B is equal to what? ck2. Now we have G. G is what? A x naught plus B y naught. Now let us substitute the value of A as ck1 in that and value of B as ck2 in that. Then how does it becomes? Now it will be, look at it, as G is equal to what? A x naught plus B y naught. So it will become, let me call it as equation number 1, both of them. Fine. A will be what? ck1 into x naught. B will be ck2 into y naught. From 1 I can say. From 1. Fine. Now this is same as to say C into k1 x naught plus k2 y naught. Now where, or let me name it as C into K, where this K equal to what? K1 x naught plus K2 y naught, and it belongs to what? Set of integer, clearly. So what do we get here? G is equal to C times K. K is an integer. So this shows C divides what? G. Therefore by definition of GCD, by definition of GCD, G will become a GCD of A and B. Thus given any non-zero integers, there exists a GCD G of A and B. There exists a GCD G of A and B such that G will be what? GCD. Yes, it is already written there, and it can be written as a linear combination of the same numbers and some integers. So A x naught plus B y naught for some x naught y naught are what? Integers. So this any GCD can be written as a linear combination of the numbers and the other two integers. So this is this theorem. Now let us see some remarks from this theorem. Okay, there are many remarks, so let us see them in next video. Thank you.